Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first edition of this year's TOC strategy shows. This is a little bit of a series that we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks as we head into football season. We're going to start today by talking specifically some TOC running backs. And of course, anytime we're talking fantasy football strategy, we've got to bring on the guru himself, Mr. Herzig. Justin, how are we doing today on this Monday as we get one more week of fantasy or of football preseason games under our belt and looking forward to the season?
Jam. I see we got some people in chat hanging out. Stogie, Eagle, Irony, Team Man, Ace John, KJ Curran, all with the JMs. How are we doing? I'm doing well. I got a busy afternoon. We're gonna talk some TOC. I'm pumped. Dove into some running back numbers. After this, I've got an underdog stream. Then we're doing a little meetup to do some drafting this afternoon. I'm pumped. This is we are in the core of the preseason, getting into NFL, and some interesting games over the weekend.
We really are. Yeah, this is the time of the year where it's almost like especially for you as a best ball player, this is like your in season. While it may be preseason for the real football players, for the best ball grinders especially, this is really where the in game work is happening. So good time to be also talking through TOC, and yeah, I mean it's just a time of the year where no matter like you can take in so much content information and then apply it to so many different formats. You can apply it to Underdog and DraftKings Best Ball. You can apply it to your drafts coming up with your buddies. Apply it to TOC, to TOC Best Ball, all of the things. And excited to jump on in.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Sandler said it best. He said instead of one day of presents, you get 8 crazy nights, but for best ball, you get 90 amazing days of just drafting, and it's probably more than 90 nowadays. But we're down to about like 25 between now and this season. I'm not sure the exact number. That's an estimate. With what you were touching, I think what's most interesting with TOC is, hey, maybe you'll get some sites out there that are going to put some rankings. Maybe some content creators will put some projections or rankings out there. But for the most part, there's actually edge to be had if you're thinking through which are the strongest running backs. And I don't want to give away too much, but was looking at some of the numbers, and there are some running backs that are like top fantasy running backs that in TOC scoring, not that desirable.
Oh baby, love to hear that. As Justin said, definitely some edge to be had. A couple programming notes before we dive into the strategy aspects here. Sent out some announcements this morning, both in Discord and via email. So couple quick updates. Just wanted to also share them here. So first is that we do have our first set of preseason contests live in the lobby. So you can head on over otmnft.com/TOC/lobby, and you'll see for this weekend's upcoming preseason contests, we have exactly mirrored the contest that you'll have in season. So we have the main event, the low ball, side hustle, Island of Misfit cards, and the OG contest. You can now go head on over and start to enter those. Each of them are 5 max entry. And getting a good look at the product experience and what we're seeing here. And I already saw some people in Discord commenting on it, but as always, shout out to Neil for the impressive work. The builder is really smooth. Once you enter your lineups, they'll show up in upcoming just like this. I can see all of the entries into the contest. You can see the prizes for each. So we've got some TOC packs, some August best ball packs, and some free best ball re-rolls up for grabs. You can easily edit your lineups, add in new. I don't have a massive collection of cards here, but check out the builder and enter the contest if you haven't already. Pumped to be getting that out there, and able to add some stuff to the prizes, but really this is still testing phase, making sure that everything's going smoothly, making sure that people are able to get their multiple lineups in, and taking any feedback from the community as we go through it. So and Justin, I feel like when it comes to preseason, like TOC format is maybe the most fun.
I mean, there are people grinding preseason right now for DFS or some of the other sites and such. And good luck trying to figure out that A.T. Perry 4th round wide receiver out of Wake Forest or whatever he was, might have been even like for the 6th round, is going to be the one who's going to put up huge numbers. You're looking down the list of, even Neil was joking, like, because he was going through the list of the actual results. And like, who is this? I've never heard of this person. And like, I don't blame them. Majority of the people playing, like, I know nothing about. But with TOC, that doesn't matter. But preseason is just for fun. But when we start getting into the actual strategy elements, yes, the names that we recognize are actually very important. But then those third strings, those peripheral wide receivers or running backs, they still play a major role. Or tight ends, definitely tight ends.
Yeah, absolutely. So check out those contests. We also shared an update to the prizing structure. So nothing's changing in terms of the ratios, but essentially the prizing will be added every 250 packs that are sold. And we're also now displaying this information directly on the website. So you can see that the current prize pool is 600,000 gold, which is equivalent to $60,000. And you can see that the next set of 200,000 gold will be unlocked and added to the prize pool after 120 more packs are sold. So for each pack that is sold, we're adding gold to the prize pool, and then you can unlock the prize pool at different thresholds. So have added that level of transparency to the site so you can check that on out. And then the last thing is that we have our Jolly Joker tiers snapshot coming up this Wednesday evening at midnight. So giveaways for each of the Gold Club, Hall of Fame, All-Stars, and Jolly Joker tiers. And we sent out that information. Pretty good odds right now for the holders in different tiers. So 25 packs are going to be given away at random to each of the tiers. And, for Hall of Fame, I think there's only 30 people in the pool right now. So now's a good time to get your first Jolly Joker if you haven't already. And also not a bad time to consider leveling up into tiers. I think that's all the programming notes, Justin.
I think we've seen about 10 new people join, get their own first Jolly Joker since we had the town hall with the announcement of more TOC and Rumble details. Obviously, we don't know exactly why each individual person did, but I think a decent amount of the names that I saw are either interested in TOC or played TOC or planning on playing. So maybe this gets them an opportunity now to get in. Maybe it's the Rumble discount, but love seeing that continued momentum. And pretty if you are, for the people who are all-stars that are close to the Hall of Fame, I think we will see some leveling up because 25 out of 30, that's 80%, 82% or whatever that is are going to end up getting that free pack at the current numbers.
Yep. Yeah. So Gold Club automatically gets a pack. There's as of this morning, at least 25 people in there. Hall of Fame, there will be 25 packs given away. There's 30 people eligible there. So like Justin said, 90+% or whatever that math is.
82, I think.
In the all-star tier, there was 50 as of this morning. So 50% chance there. And then for Jolly Jokers overall, 109. So little less than a 25% chance there. So yeah. And again, in order to be eligible for this, you just need to take advantage of the buy 5, get 1 free detail prior to the snapshot taking place on Wednesday. And also, of course, by buying those cards, you get more cards that you can enter into the contest starting with preseason this weekend. All right.
And we do have a couple prizes for preseason. I think we got some TOC packs near the top. We got some best ball packs, and then we've got some rerolls as well. So kind of for those people who are getting in early, a nice little perk before the season goes.
Yes. So for the main event preseason, the top 5 will get a TOC pack. The 6th through 10th will get an August best ball pack. And then 11 through 25 get a free reroll. And then for the other 4 contests, the winner gets a TOC pack. Second place gets an August best ball pack. And then 3rd through 10th get a free reroll. So again, you can head on over, enter those contests into the lobby.
And let me clarify once more, just so it's clear for Eagle Pop. But yeah, so those 30 that are in the Hall of Fame, the 25 that are in Gold Club are part of that 30. So it's not like 30 plus 25. Like there are 30, because if you look, there's actually not that many that are in the Hall of Fame that aren't also in the Gold Club. So right now, if we were to spin, there are 30 people who would be on the wheel for those 25 Hall of Fame packs. It's not 30 plus the 25 above. So I think we had 102 in the Jolly Jokers. That means 102 in total people that have at least one Jolly Joker purchased at least 5 packs. And then you see each above, like they're all included in that 102.
Yep. Good clarification there. All right, let's dive on in here. So just to set the stage, as we get closer and closer to the season, going to be doing some more strategy type shows, just kind of evaluating the different cards and position breakdowns, doing some rankings later on, and also just talking about how TOC maybe differs from some more traditional fantasy formats. So we're going to talk running back today. Obviously, I think running back is arguably the most different, because in regular fantasy football, right, you want the one player that has the major workload for their team. In TOC, it's often quite the opposite. And now the teams that have 2-3 backs that are all in play, eligible to get touches, get touchdowns, makes a big difference. That along with no PPR. So I'll kind of set the stage with that and then kick it over to you, Justin, to dive us into the conversation.
Cool. And as I'm talking, maybe we can pull up the rules as well, just so people can kind of see the scoring. Because yes, as TJ alluded to, for the running backs, for every position, it is 0 PPR. You do not receive any points per reception. So what we're really looking for with our running backs are primarily going to be just yards and touchdowns. And if you see at the top, we've got from a rushing, you've got rushing TD 6, rushing yards. Yes, if you catch passes, you get receiving yards. So there is value to that as well. But you're not getting those points per any kind of reception. So for this, we kind of want to look at, hey, just like if we want to get full projections for a team, you can take a look at last year's teams. We can think about from a coaching standpoint, which coaches want to run more, which one makes that part of their game plan. Then think about like teams like the Giants, where, hey, the Giants, like Saquon Barkley, he's probably like the top 5 drafted running back this year, even in half PPR formats. But the thing is, most of his work is value is from catching those those passes. There's virtually no one else in that backfield that does anything. So even though he's like a top 5 back in fantasy, I have them as like a below average running back card. So on that, I think the fun way that we can do this, at least a little teaser for some strategy, is talk through who I have for the top 3 cards. And then also we do care about low ball, because it's really those middle cards that are kind of what do I do with them? But if you get the tails of the great cards or the really bad ones, you at least have a little more confidence in your lineups.
Love it.
Okay, so starting off, I'm going to just start at the very top. Number 1, I think it might be a little surprising. TJ, any guesses?
Number 1. I was considering my Eagles at first, but when you say it's a little surprising, maybe that's not the case. But I'll be a homer and say the Eagles, because I do think they're a solid card.
Eagles is not bad. I think I've got them around the number 5 area. Really, like 3 to 7 are all really close together. And the Eagles is right in that pack. What hurts the Eagles is Jalen Hurts is rushing those touchdowns.
Yeah,
that little butt push touchdown, like that hurts when you're counting TDs. And so I do like that they've got right now 4 running backs with Swift, with Penny, with Gainwell, and with Boston Scott. But yeah, I've got them at 5. Number 1, Atlanta. Drafted Bijan Robinson very early this year. A team, Arthur Smith coach, that wants to really run this ball, just pound down throats. They have the second easiest schedule in the NFL, so we expect them to be in games, if not actually leading some games. And when you say that, hey, you've got Bijan Robinson, who's probably one of the best talents at running back that we're going to have in the league. And then they also are still very happily using Tyler Algier. I think he's still going to be a complimentary back. And then you have Cordero Patterson, who I believe is still going to be counting as a running back from our stat provider. And if that's the case, he may be used as a wide receiver, as a tight end, as a special tool, like as a running back as well. So that is, to me, is the number 1 running back card. Interesting. Not expected. Definitely didn't have that last year.
Yeah. And now that I think about it, we did a show last week and we were talking about how Atlanta was a super unique team for TOC, because you look at the running back card, like you just said, you have it as your number 1. You look at the tight end card with Kyle Pitts, that's going to be a valuable one as well. But you look at their quarterback and wide receiver cards, and I imagine that they're in your low ball candidate. So it's almost like, because the quarterback and wide receiver combo is so bad, they're going to be getting so much of their production from the running backs, which really does make that Atlanta running back card one of the most valuable. I think it's a very sharp call. And like, especially, someone that's just kind of coming off the street, if you will, they would never guess that Atlanta running back is number one. Like, it would just never even cross their mind.
Yeah, completely agree. All right. Let's see, chat. We have about 30 people with us. Give me some guesses. What do you think number 2 and number 3 are? I see KJ Curran put in a guess for Baltimore here. Feldman down here got the number 18 Atlanta running back. That's going to be a strong one. That's going to be a primary core play in your lineup. Baltimore suffers a little from what we talked about with the Eagles with Lamar. Lamar's going to have, I don't know, between probably 4 and 7 touchdowns on the year, which, that hurts your running backs. Dobbins activated off the PUP today, so that's a major positive for the team. They then have Gus Edwards, Melvin Gordon, Justice Hill. So I don't dislike Baltimore, but I wouldn't put them top 3. They're probably like maybe top half at least, maybe top third. There it is. Caden Reed has it. Detroit Lions, number 2. Now, I'm not expecting Detroit to have as many touchdowns from the 1-yard line as they had last year with Jamal Williams leading the league in rushing touchdowns. That said, we're still expecting this to be a very strong offense, putting up a ton of points. And the way that they've drafted, the way that they signed in the offseason, bringing in David Montgomery to a major contract, signing Jahmyr Gibbs in the first round, this team wants to run, and they're going to do it well. And I think the two of them are just a fantastic, hey, we've talked about in the past, the Chubb, Kareem Hunt, the Zeke Pollard. Like, this year, we've got Jahmyr Gibbs going in the late 3rd round of fantasy drafts. And then we've got David Montgomery going in like the 6th, 7th round of drafts. That form of draft capital from a fantasy we love. And I think it makes sense that we put them. They're going to be a very strong card.
Like it. Yeah, I was just checking out some rankings over at our friends over at ETR, and definitely see how the Detroit one makes sense, because you've got Gibbs they have in standard formats as RB15, David Montgomery they have as RB23. So even like just that alone makes a ton of sense, and agreed that those guys for non-PPR too also seem like they get a bit of a bump.
Yeah. Gibbs is going to touch a ton of passes. David Montgomery, they're just, bite the kneecaps kind of team. They want to get it down on the ground, and they're going to do it well. Also, indoor dome team, higher scoring as we get down in the colder weather months. Love to see it. All right, number 3. Now, number 3, as I mentioned, it's not a clear number 3. There's a bunch of teams that really are, 4 or 5 teams that really could have fallen into this number 3, and it's probably going to mix and match. If I take a look throughout, I see a couple people mention Green Bay. That one is definitely in contention. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon, with Jordan Love as quarterback, I expect they're going to want to predominantly keep it on the ground. So that's definitely a close one. Cleveland's still going to be strong, even if it is just Nick Chubb. But I think you're also going to see a little more actual usage from just Nick Chubb. We'll see whether it's Jerome Ford or who's going to be catching passes. But I like that as well. But it's San Francisco. Just one of the strongest offenses in the league. We've seen how explosive they are on the ground. We got a few different guesses for San Francisco. You guys are sharp. You guys know what's up. But even though Christian McCaffrey is doing it through the air, it's not like, okay, well, he's getting 5 catches for 30 yards. No, he's getting 6, 7 catches for 70 yards a game. So now we're getting those 70 yards points. He also is then getting his 80 to 100 rushing yards. And yes, Elijah Mitchell, if he's healthy, he's there. If it's not Elijah Mitchell, you've got Mason, you've got TDP. They're going to have someone else that is still rushing back there. Now, when Debo touches the ball as a running back, as a back, he's not getting you points because he's counting it as a wide receiver. But I just have so much faith in that offense and what they're able to kind of design to get their backs open. I'm putting San Francisco as 3, but yeah, there's a bunch that are in that next tier.
Yeah, love that call. Christian McCaffrey, of course, the number 1 ranked player when it comes to fantasy running backs. You get that Eli Mitchell behind him as well. It's also kind of nice because it creates a situation obviously in regular fantasy, you take CMC as a 3rd or 4th overall pick. If he gets injured, you're done for the season. This San Francisco running back card, even if McCaffrey did get hurt, it would obviously take a hit in value, but it'd probably still be like a top 10 card. So I think it has a nice, obviously super, super high ceiling, really nice floor there with even the backs that they have behind. So yeah, I like that call. It makes a ton of sense to me.
And I think with Atlanta, you've got similarly, even if Bijan got hurt, like, yeah, it's a big loss, but like they still have Tyler Algier, they still have CPAT, and most importantly, they still have Arthur Smith who wants to run the ball. And so even if they may not do it as well, yeah, they're going to drop from number 1 to, maybe that's 7 to 10, but it's still a team who their game plan is to run. And so there's still a lot of kind of predictive aspects to that. Okay. Should we talk some low ball?
Let's talk some low ball. I love this part of the conversation because, I mean, it's arguably even more predictable than predicting who the best ones are, right? Like, I feel like there's a chance that with some of these very bottom tier cards, they're just not going to do very well. And they're not going to do very well every single week. It's also like, man, I don't even know how I could go about guessing off the top of my head. So I'd love to see chat's guesses too on what we think the worst TOC running back cards are, and therefore the best TOC cards when it comes to low ball format.
Yeah. Mark making an interesting comment, like just from a durability standpoint. Yeah, running back, it's your coach scheme where running back injury, like they can still survive. Yeah, if you've got Kansas City quarterback and Mahomes goes down, that card's not doing too well. Let's go Brock Purdy, because we saw how bad Trey Lance was during his game yesterday. But no, good call out there. That wide receiver and durability, tight end and QB are the ones that probably, with a bad injury, could really hurt you.
Agreed.
All right, let's guess. So low ball, give me what you think. Give me the worst, the second worst, or if we don't even get them in the top 3 or bottom 3, whatever we're calling it. Who are the worst or the best low ball running back cards? All right, seeing some answers pop up here. We got Raiders as a guess for bottom 3, Miami, Washington and the Rams, Bills. Let me go through these. So Miami, Raiders I'll come back to, because this is similar where there's 2 teams that I think far stand apart away from the others. And then there's a group of probably 3 or 4 that could all be that next one. And for like Miami, I actually kind of like Miami. I think this is a team that just is going to have a strong offense. And amongst all the running backs, Devin Achane, Raheem Mostert, and Jeff Wilson, like I think they'll be decent. I love Washington. Between Gibson and Robinson, I think that's a great one.
I have a guess. Oh, yes, that was my guess.
Cody puts in the answer. Arizona. This team is projected to win 4.5 games. That's 2 fewer than any other team in the NFL. Hey, maybe if Kyler comes back, it'll be different. But that means when Kyler's not there, you can have even that much more confidence in how bad this team is going to be. Yes, James Conner is in the backfield. Behind him, it's Keontae Ingram. Like, there is not much behind him either. And this team is just a disaster. They're going to have a late round rookie quarterback starting in practices. They're to the point where like they can't even run actual practices. I think it was Colt McCoy would just hike the ball and then point to where he wanted to throw the ball, right? Because he, not healthy enough. They didn't have a QB who could even throw it. It's a train wreck. Like, from a best ball, from a fantasy, like I'm still buying some Marquise Brown. I'm still like hopeful that Kyler's going to come back and the team's okay. But at the beginning of the season, at least, you can guarantee this card is going to be bad. So Arizona, the worst one. No one has guessed what the second worst one is.
Ooh.
And this one goes from probably a top 7 or 8 card last year to, in my mind, a bottom 2 card this year. TJ's thinking.
I'm thinking and looking at a list, and all of my thoughts had been said in chat. So
no one put this one in chat
yet.
All right, let's see. I'll skip this one and let people put some more guesses in, but I'll speak to the Raiders, because the third one, and I said there's like a kind of a combo, but I kind of said Las Vegas and Indy as my tied for third best low ball. And I think it's fair to include them both, because we still got to see what plays out with Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor. If either of those 2 guys do not play, like that card just immediately becomes pretty bad. With the Indy one, not only do you have Anthony Richardson, a quarterback who's going to be, if they even get to the end zone, going to be stealing some of the efficiency from your running back there. But I think it's just going to be a slow plays kind of wear them out kind of game for Indy. So if Jonathan Taylor does not play this year, then I think Indy immediately becomes maybe maybe the second worst. I don't know. They have his chance for the worst. But
this is my guess.
Okay. Vikings are interesting. The numbers were telling me that the Vikings should be one of the worst. But when I'm doing projections for them, it's hard to really get the projections right because someone is going to shine in the number 2 from Minnesota, but we can't really project who that is, whether it's going to be Ty Chandler, Keeney, or Dwayne McBride behind Madison. But I think just in general, it's a strong team that's going to be scoring a bunch. So I have them as not a good one, but not that bad. Timbo got it right. Tampa. Last year, Rashad White and Leonard Fournette with Tom Brady at the helm, like this was an effective team. They were scoring touchdowns. They were catching passes. They were overall just pretty strong. The combo between the two. This year, you lose Leonard Fournette, but more importantly, you lose Tom Brady. And with the loss of Tom Brady, we're bringing in Baker Mayfield, or maybe it's Kyle Trask. I don't know. The entire Tampa team is going to be atrocious. And the backfield is Rashad White. It's Chase Edmonds. It's maybe Sean Tucker if he makes the team. It's going to be tough for the Tampa running backs this year.
Your Bucks, man. Your Bucks.
Oh, I'm hopeful that we don't screw up this season and somehow win like 5 games. Like,
agreed.
Suck for Caleb. Get the number 1 pick with Caleb. If you fail for that, at least get the 2 and get Drake May. Those are both QBs that I think are going to be franchise QBs.
Sharp indeed.
Regression for LAC. Unless you're talking about positive regression, I think Chargers are going to be fantastic this year. Kellen Moore coming in. They already played really fast. Kellen Moore likes to play fast. Average depth of target in general is going to increase. I think the offense is just going to be clicking on all cylinders. Yes, I mean, like it doesn't fit as well as some offenses from TOC because Eckler is catching a lot of passes. No one else behind him, Kelly or Spiller, is doing much. But no, I still think you're going to have some spike weeks out of that LAC running back card. All right.
Who else do we have in the bottom?
That's it. Those are
the
Las Vegas and Indy are kind of the tie.
So they're just the tied. Got it.
2 best for the low ball. We'll see what plays out with Jonathan Taylor. He's supposed to be reporting to camp. Josh Jacobs, we still don't know what's going on.
Love it.
Play those by ear.
Very cool. Yeah, we're gonna keep these shows pretty tight. I think we're gonna come back on Wednesday. We'll have another show. Maybe we'll dive into wide receiver on Wednesday a bit, and yeah, we'll do these quick previews for this week, and then as we get closer and closer to the season, we'll be releasing more official rankings and such. But we can't end a show without opening up a little best ball pack here, doing a giveaway for chat. So let's go ahead, get a giveaway up and running. Thanks everyone for joining us. Again, we'll be back on Wednesday for another show. So keep an eye out for that. And
T-Man asking, how many packs do I need to get to have a chance? I don't know if T-Man's talking about the giveaway or last year. I know T-Man played last year, obviously, but we had someone make it to the finals last year that only had bought, I think, 1 or 2 packs and got it through like a crazy Jets week where one of the weeks where the Jets put up like 40 points last year. For people who are kind of still feeling out how much they need to buy or whether they want to join, there's so many ways to play this, whether you're trying for the main events, whether you're going for the side hustle, the low ball and such. Tons of fun to be had in kind of different structures.
There we have it. We're keeping it simple here. We're just going to go #RB. We talked everything you need to know, or at least a little preview of what you need to know for running backs. And let's jump in here. We'll do a quick best ball pack opening. Remember, those are still available over there on Blitz. And let's go ahead and open up this pack. We'll build a lineup real quick, and then we'll give it away to a lucky winner in chat.
Yeah. As you're opening this up, Wine Zone Season 1 cards. They can be used. There is an OG contest every single week that the OG cards from Season 1 can be played in. So if you've got some of those Season 1 cards, head on over to the site and make sure you still see them there. If you don't see your Season 1 cards, open up a ticket, and we'll make sure that your account is linked on the new infrastructure that we have. But yes, those season 1 cards can still be used in our OGs contest that'll happen every week.
Yes, sir. Make sure you get on over there. Enter the OGs contest and other contests for this weekend preseason games. We're going to go ahead, quickly open this
Coop
pack.
would be happy. He's got his
See
pit
what we
QB,
got.
his pit tight end.
We got the Coop stack.
We got Atlanta running back. We just called that out as the number 1 Atlanta card, right? As the number 1 running backs card there.
Oh, yeah. We got a pretty good pack here.
6 QBs. 6 QBs is going to
QBs.
hurt us in the... Okay, we only got 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers. That's where we're hurting a little, but we can make this work.
But we got good ones.
We do have really good ones, though. All 3 of them are really strong wide receivers. All right, Cincy stack. Definitely, I'd say throw in a Chicago QB as well. Let's get Justin Fields' big, crazy spike games. Atlanta running back. And then between New England and LAR, I'd probably go New England. Still got Ramondre. We'll see what happens behind him, but we definitely want to get at least 2 running backs in that picture. From wide receivers, I'd go all 3 wide receivers. Yep. We know wide receivers can have big spike weeks, but you're looking at Cincy wide receivers, Miami wide receiver. Those 2 teams are competing for who has the best top 2 wide receivers in the team, and I'm not sure which between those 2 wins it, but those are definitely Jamar Chase Higgins versus Tyreek and Waddle. It's close. Then Jets we like as well. Tight ends, San Francisco and Minnesota, both really strong tight ends. I'd throw them both in. You're getting Hawk. You're getting San Francisco. And then from a D, I don't know about these. I got to do some more D research.
Yeah, it's a good...
I'd probably throw Atlanta in there because we got the running backs. You get the correlation, as I mentioned. Second easiest schedule. So just keeping their opponents to low amount of points and running all over it, I think helps. 2 more available. I'd probably say let's grab the Rams running back just so we have a 3rd running back in there. And then 1 more QB. Geno might have some good weeks.
Yeah.
I'd go Geno.
I think Geno's solid there.
Yeah.
Pretty good card here. So we've got Cincinnati quarterback paired up with the Cincinnati wide receiver. We've also got Chicago quarterback and Seattle quarterback to round that out. At running back, we've got Atlanta RB, which is Justin's number 1 ranked RB. We've also got that paired up with the New England and LA Rams RBs. Then we've got San Francisco and Minnesota at tight end, and locking it down with Atlanta on defense. Very nice card here. If you'd like to enter the giveaway, to have a chance to win this and have this card be yours, make sure you go #RB in the chat here. We will give that a few more moments, and then we'll spin the giveaway. We'll get on out of here. Justin, any final words before we shut this show down?
This is fun. Let's I think we're also maybe going to have some pack parties that we're going to mix into. So for anyone hanging out, if sometime, over, this week or next, you're someone that wants to come on stream and rip open a pack with us, shoot me a DM on Twitter or in Discord, and I'll get your name down and we'll try to find some availability. But that's something we're excited to kind of keep doing. We had a lot of fun with that last week. I think people in chat did too. So we'll keep some pack parties going.
Absolutely. And if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. Going to have a ton of content coming your way over the next month as we get into the season. Hammer the like button also if you haven't already. And we're going to go ahead, pull a winner of this August Best Ball Pack, and then we're going to get out of here. Thanks, everyone, for joining us, and good luck in the giveaway.
Let's see. Will it be a JJ who's going to take this home? KJ Curran. Congratulations.
KJ with the win. Congrats. Go ahead. Head on over to the Discord. Open up a ticket there. We'll make sure that we get all of your information so we can send you over that pack. And there we have it. First of many strategy shows in the books. As Justin said, more pack parties coming as well. If you'd like to take part in that, hit us up. Until then, we'll see you all in Discord. Oh, KJ Banathead. We know you. We know you. Good stuff. Talk to y'all later.
Later.